the beginning of the latest episode of Love Island, we see the continuation of either Blue or Shay's elimination. Of course, they have to decide between them who's going home. And we knew they probably weren't going to agree to that. It's two men here. They both have two big egos. And they've literally been here a couple days. This is a huge opportunity. Who's going to voluntarily give that up? So they're basically going back and forth. They're arguing in lowercase. They're like, Blue's like, well, make connections with people. I'm still exploring, blah, blah, blah. Shay's just like, I just got here. And they're going back and forth, and they're both basically saying, well, you haven't made any connections yet. And they're like, oh, well, you haven't either. I can say the same thing about you. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think personally, the arguments weren't that great. I mean, like I said, they've both barely been there. But I guess they both kind of have good arguments. I feel like Shay could say, well, I just got here, I need more time. You've had, Bombshell come in and, and the women here, and you haven't made a connection yet. I haven't had that same opportunity. And Blue could be like, well, there's still time for me. So, I guess it was a debate-ish, but obviously, like I said, they both arrived. It's not like one had been there for like 2 weeks and hadn't found a connection, was refusing to leave. Like, they've basically been there pretty much the same amount of time. So basically, they're both like, well, we're not going to come to the decision. Can you guys decide? Came down to it, the other couples decided that it was going to be Blue who went home. Personally, I was kind of indifferent to who went home. I think out of the two, I probably would have preferred Blue to stay, just because I feel like he would have provided a bit more entertainment than Shay. Shay is just a brick to me. He's boring. Yes, okay, he's good looking, but it's like when someone's boring, it's just like the looks kind of diminish when the personality's not there, the intellect isn't there. He just seems like a bonehead. But Blue, I'm not mad at Blue getting his karma. He came in, he made a very bad impression. He basically called Alima ugly. He went out the gate. The first thing she said, oh, how do you think things are going? The first thing he said is, you're not my type. Well, guess what? You're none of the women's type in there, and that's why you're going home. That's why you're going home. Remember, guys, it's nice to be nice. It's nice to be nice. Because when you're not nice, or you're going to get sent home. So, yeah, that was the conclusion.